Hi, everyone. It's Tammy Warner with Aortic Hope. I'm so glad you're here to join us today. We're going to talk about the whole last week. While you're here, make sure that you always like and subscribe and share our page so that we can reach as many people as possible. We always appreciate that. So let's start out with last week, Medical Monday. We always have Medical Monday, and it's usually about movement, but this week it's about the thoracic aortic aneurysms, size and surgery. And this is a topic that we talk a lot about, and we want to present some information from Kaiser Permanente study called Large Study of Thoracic Aortic Aneurysm Backed Guidelines, which confirms a low long-term risk for most aneurysm. This is a question that is discussed in our forums, in our doctors, Ask a Doctor forums, in our Facebook page, in our blog, very often about when should surgery take place and when is it okay to do the wait and see, and what are the risks. So here is a quote. A large new Kaiser Permanente study provides high quality evidence that most of the 33,000 patients diagnosed each year in the US with a thoracic aortic aneurysm, which is a bulge in the main part of your main artery that runs through your chest, are not likely to experience a dissection and may not need open heart surgery. So that's very good news. We built the largest ever cohort of patients with thoracic aortic aneurysms to study their natural history. And this research was critical because of the lack of evidence to guide clinicians and the ongoing debate in the field as to how large an aneurysm should be before recommending a patient undergo such a very high-risk surgery. And anybody that knows anything about studies knows that it's really important that it be a large study. You don't want to look at 10 or 15 people, even 100 people. You want a large study. So this study was published October 5th in the JAMA Cardiology. It's the largest to date to support the current consensus guidelines that recommend surgery for most patients with a thoracic aneurysm that is at a 5.5 centimeters or larger. And these guidelines are specific to patients who do not have certain genetic conditions that increase this risk of experiencing an aortic aneurysm or dissection. So like with anything, this is a guideline. I know that after they see that 5.5 centimeters, they're also going to look at your height, because your height has a lot to do with how they measure things. They're also going to look at your history. You know, did you have a father? Did you have a sibling that had a dissection? Have you had a prior dissection? And this is an aneurysm that they've been waiting and watching. So that's important. It's not just that 5.5 number. The article goes on to say, our study shows that regular monitoring coupled with aggressive blood pressure control and lifestyle changes is a safe strategy for most patients until the aneurysm reaches the 5.5 centimeter mark, when surgery becomes necessary. The fact that we found a clear inflection point in the risk at 6.0 centimeters supports the current guidelines and will help inform the debate of when to do this surgery. And the link to the article is right there. Remember, you always want to have a conversation with your physician. You don't want to just go by what we're saying with the 5.5. I think the thing that comes to mind for me when I did look at this article is that I've had physicians or cardiologists talk about how we are the first generation to survive that they can study. So people before us, they were not following them. And I have said on here before, I had my dissection. My dissection was in March of 2019. And after my 6-week checkup, I went into the cardiologist who, the cardiac surgeon who did my emergency surgery, and he kind of patted me on the head and was like, bye-bye, you're fine, go live your life. And I was like hysterical and said, no, you need to follow me. And he said, no, you're fine. I fixed you, you're fine. Well, then I met Karen through Aortic Hope, and she said that my gut was right, that I'd need to be followed. And I'm so glad that I met her and learned so much through Aortic Hope, because 2 years later, I did need to have a second open heart and open sternum surgery to repair what was called a pseudoaneurysm. It's a type of aneurysm that kind of looks like a balloon rather than like a little lump. It was kind of a balloon coming out at the at my arch, or at the root. And I wouldn't have known. I had no symptoms whatsoever. I went in for my routine CT scan, and I got the phone call from the doctor that we needed to discuss surgery. And before, what was happening is I probably would have died when this aneurysm burst, because this is not the kind of aneurysm that just dissects. Like there's just, and I only have one layer left there. So my point is, the research that we're seeing now is only because of survivors like us that are being followed and are being monitored under constant surveillance, a surveillance regimen that makes sense. So for me and for most of the people that I know, a typical surveillance, what it looks like is at 6 months, you see your cardiologist who regulates your medications and things like that. She will do, or he will do, a echocardiogram, look at your ejection fraction for your aortic valve, monitor your medications, your blood pressure. And then 6 months after that, I have a CT scan. I never even see my my surgeon anymore. I go for that CT scan. He reviews it. He does his own measurements, because he tells me he wants to do his own measurements. He looks at what they send him, but a lot of times he does some of his own measurements. And then I have a telehealth meeting with his nurse practitioner. So that's a good thing that I don't need to see him. So for me, it's every 6 months. And there are some studies that are out there. If you want to participate in any studies, you just go to our resource page on our aortichope.org and go to resources. There's studies there. And this is so important if you're willing to and able to participate in some of the studies. They're kind of scattered out around the United States. So there isn't one near you, but you happen to be traveling to visit family or on vacation, from what I understand, that one that Dr. Prakash is doing right now, it's just a morning. You would arrive by 9 o'clock, and he said you're out of there by 1. So please consider doing some of the studies. It will make a big difference to our community. Okay, so let's go on to the live question and answer that we had with Tara Cohen from Lauren's Hope. It is on our YouTube channel. You can search that. It's great. There's a link here. And they gave they did give away a $50 gift certificate to somebody for interacting with them during the event. But I don't have mine on right now because I went swimming this morning, but I have a Lauren's Hope medical bracelet. They do have people that you can talk to specifically if you want to understand how to word your information and what information to put on there, what's important. What I really like about the Lauren's Hope bracelets is the actual metal part, the part with your information can detaches from the actual bracelet. So there's 2 little hooks, the same hook that's on a necklace. You detach it if you want to change the bracelet to a different style or whatever. I have a couple different ones that I use. I have one that's in rose gold, one that's in silver, one that's kind of like a leather strap, and I just swap them out. But it gives me some peace of mind. I never travel without it, even if I have my husband with me. I definitely wear it if my family lives 2 hours. Part of my family lives 2 hours from where I am, and I will go back and forth to see them. I definitely have it on when I'm driving those 2 hours back and forth. So it just gives me that extra peace of mind. Mine it just says that I have an abdominal aneurysm. It gives that I did have a type A thoracic repair, dissection repair, and then it has my husband's phone number on there. So take a look at that. It's full of information of how to decide what information to put on there. And then there is the information in there of how to contact somebody at Lawrence Hope to walk you through what information to put on there. A great resource. And they have more than just bracelets. First of all, they have different style bracelets. They have the dog tag kinds of things. They have just the necklaces. And I think I just saw that they have the ones that you can put on your shoe. Like if you're exercising, you can put it on your shoe. So, okay, let's move on. Therapeutic Thursday. This one was fun to read. About that it was too long for a long post. So Karen wrote something kind of funny here, but something that really grinds your gears is when people say you can't be sick because you look fine. I know it's annoying. I know I've had it happen to me. I know I've had friends who have said things like, I'm so glad you bounced back so well. And they assume that I have no ongoing problems because I don't outwardly look like I have anything happening. Today I do have on my compression sleeve because I'm having some issues from lymph. I had issues with lymphedema from my last open heart surgery. It triggered some lymphedema that I had from having lymph nodes taken out for breast cancer. But if I wasn't wearing this, people wouldn't say anything. I did have somebody make a comment to me about, it was the beginning of summer. I was at the grocery store and I was walking to my car that was obviously parked in a handicapped spot. I had been to the gym. I was really tired and I did park in a handicapped spot to walk through the grocery store, do my grocery shopping, and then carry the bag back to the car. And I had pushed the button for the lift gate to go up and walked to the car in that parking spot. And a middle-aged woman walked up to me and she said, you know, you really should save those spots for people who really need them. And so I didn't look sick. I didn't look like I needed that handicapped spot, but she knew nothing about me. She didn't know that we had an Aortic Hope meeting that night and I wanted to, you know, save my energy. I still had to cook dinner. I had left clothes in the wash machine to switch over to the dryer. So I had a whole load of clothes to do, and I had to put sheets back on the bed. So I planned my day according to what I had to do. And that was part of my little strategy, was to park in a handicapped spot. And I just looked at her and I said the first thing that came to mind, and I just said, you know nothing about my story. And I got in my car. And Karen and I have had this discussion about, we would love to come up with, you know, something that we could say to really make the person think. I haven't come up with anything. I would love to hear some of your thoughts if you do have an idea. But yeah, so the next time somebody says that you don't look sick to them, you know your body better than anyone else. And you don't really owe anybody an explanation or a justification. You know, what's happening to you is your story and you just own it. I just put something on Facebook on our private page, I think it was yesterday, and it said something about, you know, just because today I can doesn't mean tomorrow I can't. And just because tomorrow I can't doesn't mean the next day I can, or something like that. Meaning every day is different. And you know yourself best. Use your tricks. My trick is I don't use my handicap sticker all the time, because sometimes I am trying to get my steps in. I am trying to stay as healthy as possible. I am trying to get my heart to pump. I'm trying to get my steps in and my movement in, but I have to have strategies, and that's one of my strategies. So if you've ever experienced that, I would love for you to leave a comment and let us know how you've handled it or your thoughts. First Friday fundraiser was all about hats this last week. So, you know, we took it back old school. The bucket hats were a great way to cool off during the summer. And so always look, they were 20% off throughout the entire month, not just on that Friday. And you can always go to the Facebook fundraiser. You can always start a Facebook fundraiser for your birthday, and 100% of your donations goes back into the community. Now we do make some money. It's not 100% for any of the swag that we send out, because obviously we have to pay for the swag, but any donation that you make goes directly towards the things that we fund, all of our little bucket list that we're trying to fulfill for everybody. I will tell you, I've been sending out hope mail. So if this is your aortiversary month, your hope mail is on the way. But I sent some hope mail out, I guess it was Friday. And on that day, I had 10 go out, and it cost $50. I mailed out, I think, 8 more this morning, and it was $35. So, but the hope mail was one of our biggest things. It was part of the original plan was the hope mail. It started with Karen knitting some hats, or she was knitting some hearts or something and mailing them out to people to help them celebrate their aortiversary. So give us a little hand there, and either participate in Friday fundraisers or do a birthday. Go to Facebook and do a birthday fundraiser. We really appreciate the people that do that, and any little bit counts. It doesn't matter if you do $50 for your birthday, whatever it is. It makes, I mean, like I just said, $50. 10 people got a hope mail. So. And then our Survivor Series. Thank you so much to the people who participate in the Survivor Series. So the last one that we had was not a video. It was written out, a text that you can take your time reading. But it was about a woman named Debbie who survived 2 aortic aneurysm surgeries, and will go in. She was scheduled for another one coming up. These stories are so important to our very important to our community. There's different ways for you to participate. You can write it out the way Debbie and Jim Moody did, in paragraph form, and send it in to us with a photograph. You can work with Josh, our IT person, and he will actually record you telling your story, and it can be edited the way you want it, the time frame, whatever, the information that you want to share with us. Or you can actually go live with Josh, and he'll walk you through. He'll ask you some stories. We want to know what everybody else wants to know. What did it look like? How did you feel? How was it handled? How were you diagnosed? Were you misdiagnosed? What was your recovery like? How was your caregiver dealing with this? How are you doing emotionally and mentally and physically? So if you have a story that you would like to share, whether you're a caregiver, a survivor, or sadly, if you've lost someone, we want to share all of those stories. So thank you so much to Jim and Debbie for the latest story. Okay, let's move on here. The live Q&A we had with Dr. Prakash. So in the past, Dr. Prakash has been live on Facebook. You would type in your question, and he would answer that question in text format, in written format. We've added a whole other level to this that is so much more personable and so wonderful. So this was a live Q&A on Facebook, on YouTube, with Karen as the moderator. At first, Karen and Dr. Prakash had kind of their own little question and answer session that Karen brought up, topics that are in our community, topics that are covered quite often, such as the article that we just saw about how do you know when an aneurysm should be the surgery should be scheduled. How do you make decisions about the wait and see? He gave a great explanation. I won't be able to give it to you here, but if you want to go see, he gave a great explanation about why, because Karen said, if you're going to have surgery anyway, and a planned surgery is better than an emergent surgery, why don't we just have surgeries right away as soon as that aneurysm is found? This is such a great question. And if you go look, if you go watch the YouTube, he has a great explanation to that. So if that's something that's happening in your world, go take a look at that. So after they covered a lot of general topic information, medications, medication options, things like that, then it was turned over to the audience, and we were allowed to ask very specific questions about things that were happening in our world. So for example, I'm having an issue where a central line was put into my the femoral artery, like right in your groin. I have a great big lump there from 2 years ago. So I was able to ask a very specific question, and he gave a very specific answer. And what I really liked was he was very honest, very direct. He didn't tiptoe around. So go look. I'm sure that some of the questions that Karen asked will be things that you've thought about, and then some of the very specific questions that people have asked. They talked about doing yoga, they talked about doing Pilates, they talked about your heart rate, specific medications. There was so much that was covered, so please go take a look at that. If you're already a subscriber to our page, it should come up. But take a look and please like it. And that helps us a lot after you watch something on our AHTV. If you like it and share it, it really helps to boost everything for us. So thank you so much for that. So we have some new posters, some good news. We're always trying to streamline things. And in the past, if you wanted to share our information with your doctor, we would ask you to fill out a form, and then we have these hard cardstock little papers that you can take that we mail out to your doctor. They would be in the waiting room, or he would give them out to people who had aortic disease so that you could connect with us. Well, that's really expensive to do that. And it was really hard for us to keep up with, after we sent all of these out over the years, trying to keep up with which doctors, gave them out and need more, which doctors, didn't give them out, and so we shouldn't send them anymore. So we've streamlined it, and I love this. We've done a couple of things here. So what we have, we launched the patient awareness posters, and you can see a picture of it right here. It's very similar to the the tableside cards. We still have those available, but this is streamlining it. So the patient awareness poster can be mailed to you. I think that's in packs of 10. So they would be mailed out to you for you to take. I don't know, if you belong to the YMCA and you want to put one up there, take to your doctors, take to your community buildings and tack them up. You can make copies of them. You can keep a copy for yourself so that, make sure your doctors all have them in their waiting rooms, in their patient rooms. But on there are the QR codes that all you have to do is take a picture, and it will take you right to our different community groups that you might be looking for. And I think this is so great. This is not only going to save us some money, and money that we can put back into the community, but it's the more we can get people connected once they've experienced either a dissection or an aneurysm or whatever aortic disease they're dealing with. This is so wonderful to be a better way of getting in touch with people. So there's a form that you fill out. Please, 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 as somebody who addresses things all the time for people, please leave your entire correct address. Please look at it before you push send. I can't tell you many times. I send out about 30 pieces of mail a month, and I can't tell you how many times I have to go look up the zip code because people don't put it in there, or they'll only give me their street address and their state. And I don't know what, or they're not the street address and the town, and I don't know what state it is. Then I have to go Google that. So anytime you fill out any of our forms, please, please, please take a moment and make sure that it's completely correct. But we want to get these out in your hands. So fill out those forms and we'll get them out as soon as possible. After you spread them around your community, make sure that you keep one for yourself so that you can take, you have the copy, your one hard copy. And then when you go to your doctors every 6 months or once a year, say, hey, can I update you, if we've changed it or anything, and give them a new copy. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week.
Wait. I
What?
wanted to say hi to Dee and hi to Karen Heichel. Karen had a
Oh,
question.
hi.
Karen said that she had a similar issue with her femoral artery. Do you remember what
Oh,
the doctor said?
well, so what the doctor has told me, Karen, I have a lump in my groin, and if I walk a lot, I get like pain in my leg, and I like if I go to try to get back in the car, I have to actually lift my leg to get it back in the car. So when I hang up from here, I have a CT with contrast that I have to schedule in my local hospital. They said sometimes they have to go and put a stent in it. It's where they put that central line in and they hit something, and I don't. I'm in a wait and see with what the next step is going to be. I am praying that I don't need surgery. I've had this lump for 2 years. I didn't realize what the lump was when I found it like a month ago. I've had the pain for 2 years. I didn't know that the lump was there. When I found the lump like about 2 months ago, I was so scared because I thought my breast cancer had come back and it was a lymph node. So we kind of started there, and I've wasted some time thinking it was a lymph node when it wasn't at all. So I would what they told me was that I needed to go back to the surgeon who did my surgery, the person who did my surgery. When I did that, he referred me to his vascular surgeon. The vascular surgeon is the one who has ordered the CT scan with contrast for me. So I hope that answers your question. So I would recommend you go back to your surgeon. Or if you do have my surgeon, I don't see the vascular surgeon unless my surgeon feels that I need to. And in this case, he did feel like I needed to. If you're already on board with a vascular surgeon, I'd go straight to the vascular surgeon and just go from there. So any other questions there?
Well, she says that a follow-up comment after the surgery, the surgeon told her husband that there was an end quotes mistake made in accessing the artery. Blood was spurting all over the place, so they went in somewhere else.
Well, okay, so that's interesting because when I said a few minutes ago that Dr. Prakash was very he didn't hold back, and that's exactly what he said to me in the Ask a Doctor, that it was a mistake that somebody made, whoever tried to put that in, and he said his words were that it should have never happened, that this is something that happened a long time. This was a problem that used to occur years ago, and it shouldn't be happening anymore. They have ways to get around that for it not to happen. So it does upset me. Karen, you're welcome to look me up on, well, I have an email address here at Aortic Hope. It's just Tammy at TAMMY at aortichope.org. Or you're welcome to find me on Facebook. I'm Tammy, TAMMY, Demaro Warner. You're welcome to look me up on Facebook. If you're friends with Karen, I'm friends with Karen. Just send me a friend request and we can talk. I'd love to talk to you. How long, can you ask her how long ago hers happened?
She's going to hear you, and we have to wait just a little bit for the
Okay.
seconds to come back. So it turns out that Dee here is Diane Bishop, our very own Diane Bishop. And she's like, yikes, I fell asleep. And so I was like, well, thanks for staying by. Then she let me know who it was, and I was like, okay, there's always next week.
Hey, Diane, I missed you guys at our girls' weekend, but I loved the pictures. It looks
She,
like you guys had a great time.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So Karen says that hers was 2 years ago.
Oh, wow, we need to talk, Karen.
She said, I will, thank you.
Yes, get in touch with me somehow. It would probably be even easier to talk by phone, so I can give you my phone number. You can give me a call. What state are you in, Karen?
Oh, I want to say she's out near the Rock from the Heart group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
So
because I know
she's
she
in
was
that
at
mini
Rock
app.
from the she was in Rock from the Heart's first one
Okay.
from this year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would love to talk to you, Karen. We
Yep,
need to.
Minnesota. Hmm.
Okay, we need to share stories and stay in touch with what our doctors are saying. So
Right
good
on.
connection. But yeah, Karen, go watch the Dr. Prakash on Aortic Hope TV, and you can see my question and what he said about it.
All right,
I
and
mean, he said exactly what I just told you, but if you want to hear him talk about it, you can.
and before I let you go, click that events link right there. No, don't close. No, don't close. Just click events on any one of these tabs. It's underneath the Facebook icon on the top. On the no, all the way to your right now. Oh no,
All the way to the right?
Oh, okay, so where where the donate button is, two to the left. Click events.
Events.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that
on
one.
board now. Okay. Yeah, so here are
So today's the 10th.
here are all the things that are happening. So today is the 10th. We're doing the aorta hangout on Thursdays where they talk about anything except aorta.
Well,
It's
the unspoken rule is no news or good news.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So no news or good news. And then please spread the word for your caregivers that they do have a support group that's caregivers only on Saturday the 15th at 4 o'clock. Then next Monday will be the weekend review again. And then every Thursday they do the aorta hangout. Every Monday we do the weekend review. And then if you take a look at Monday the 24th, those of you that are interested in Lauren's Hope, they're going to have another event for that. And then Wednesday, the 26th in the evening, they have a virtual support group where you are allowed to talk anything, good or bad, about your journey. And let's see, and then another hangout, and then Aortic Hope weekend review the last day of the month. So there we go. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for everybody that joined us.
Good job today.
Okay.
Diane said, love you guys. Karen said, okay, hopefully she'll reach out to you then.
Yes, get in touch with me somehow. I'll get my phone number to you and we can actually talk by phone. Okay. Everybody have a great week. It's the middle of the July. It's the middle of summer. Get out there and enjoy. Get that vitamin D. And love to everybody. Bye.
Bye.